Now we are on lesson 7, still in C position. And we're going to be looking at a technique of crossing over with your right hand. Well, actually we're going to go out of C position just a little bit to learn a new note. And we'll do that. But make sure at this point, before we start this new lesson, that you've gone through your repertoire. I keep reminding you to do that. Make sure you've gone through all of those lessons 1 through 6, all of those pieces, play them, and be able to get through them pretty well. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. Be able to get through them. And then let's try this lesson 7 now. I'm going to zoom in so we can see. And you can watch these old videos again if you forget how the pieces sound and you need a reminder. Totally fine to do that, of course. Alright, so now, of course the time signature here, I didn't put a time signature, but we assume 4/4. 4 counts in the measure for each measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So count 1 is here. Count 2 is on this quarter note. And then the half notes here get count 3 and 4. That should be familiar to you. Okay? And also the terms. Remember, this is a treble clef right here. Bass clef, brace, bar line, measure. These are the measures, right? 4 counts in each measure. The time signature, the one I wrote the 4/4, that was called the time signature. Okay? You should remember a black note is a quarter note. A white note with a stem is a half note. Gets 2 counts. The quarter note got 1. The half note gets 2 counts. If you have just a goose egg, like, well, right here, whole note, 4 counts for that. Okay? So remember your counts. Alright, we're going to start this time. I recommended doing hands separately, so we're going to try that here to start with. This is a great way to work on music. You don't always have to play your hands together when you're learning it. Alright, we're going to start with left hand. Why am I starting with left hand? Because left hand is the most difficult hand to learn the notes on for some reason. So, we're going to start with it. So take a look at it. You should know top space is what letter? G. Bottom space is what letter? Or not bottom space, the next space down is E. So we have G and E together. Now don't just look at that and think, oh, that's a third. I'm going to play this. It's okay to know that it's a third, the harmonic interval of a third that we did in the last lesson. Okay, because it is a third. But know that also that it is G and E. Okay, 3 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 counts on that one. Now we're going to change to what? A second. Notice they're catty cornered. Remember that? They're catty cornered because they're too close together to fit on top of each other. So you know you're playing a second when you do that. Remember, an interval is distance. So second apart. 2 notes. Okay, so there's your second. Harmonic second, we call it. It's also F and G. 3 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we go to the next measure. We're going to go back and do right hand in a minute, but let's finish this left hand a little ways. Alright, so what are we going to have here? A fifth. Alright, so we know it's a fifth apart because it's space, and then we skip a space, space. That's a fifth apart. You know what a fifth is, so you can just do that, but also know that it's a C in this space, and then a G is in the top space. You got to know that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's continue with left hand. Now we have a single note here on count 4. The right hand takes care of counts 1, 2, 3. And then count 4, we have a left hand G. Because it's in the top space, right? And we have another interval here. What is this? Second, third, fourth, or fifth? What is it? It's a third because it's stacked neatly. 3 of those, but also know that it's G and E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and back and look at the right hand. It's good to do one line and then go back and do the right hand for that line. So what do we start with? Easy. C. 3 Then what do we have? What letter now? Letter D, because it's underneath the staff there. Only D does that. 3 Ds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what we have in this measure, we start off with an E, move up to F, move up to second line, which is a G, right? Then we'll go back down to a C note. So E, F, G, C. Now here's the crossover I was talking about. All right? This note is a C, we know that, and we play it with finger 1. When I write a 1 here, that's talking about fingering, our thumb. Now, what we're going to do is we have a note right below C. Okay, this is not in our flashcards, and that's okay. It goes right 1 below C, so that's going to be this note right here, a B. So we go to the left, but how do we play it? Well, we're going to cross over. We're going to play it with our 2 finger, and we're going to cross over here. We're going to go like this, C, and then I'm going to cross this finger over. See how I do that? And then I come right back to the C. It's called a crossover. And I come right back. Whenever you're playing anything, and you run out of fingers and you just need to go 1 lower on the right hand, you just cross over with your 2 finger and come right back. So these are fingerings, 1, 2, 1. So practice that, this little part right here, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. And that note is a B note, okay? It's a B. I haven't had a B yet. It is a B. Remember, B is on the right side of 3 black keys. So C, B, okay? C, and then I go to D. Okay, so that's how you do that little part right there. And of course we have 3 C's right here in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now putting your hands together on that first line, you might want to use your highlighter. Make sure you do this so that you see visually that the hands play together. Visually you can stop doing that, but it helps to get started just to do that. Now, everywhere you have a vertical line going down, up and down, you know the hands play together. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I kept holding my left hand fifth. Whole note fifth keeps holding while the right hand plays. If I start right here, 2, 3, 4. Now cross over with a 2, then come back to the C. D, and then the left hand has the 4th count. So count 1, count 2, count 3, and count 4 right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end, okay? Actually, these 4 measures are a phrase, and then you actually kind of start a new section there, so it's kind of weird to include that part. But all right, so there we go. Let's scroll. Some of the same things here, okay? Go ahead and look at the left hand. We have a second, which are what 2 notes? G and F, okay? If you had to think about that for a long time, you need to do some more flashcards. G's in the top space, F's in the line below. 2, 3, 4. So second, G and F. What do we have here? Yes, it's a 5th, but what are the note names? If you don't know the note names, that's not good enough. You need to know that that's a C and that is a G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go back to a second right here. F and G, that's no big deal. Third, which is what 2 letters? G and E. And then we have more thirds there. Second, right here is a second. And then we have a third right here. And then we go back to doing a 5th. Because it's, remember 5ths are both spaces or they're both lines. These happen to be both spaces. Okay, now let's take a look at the right hand. What note do we start with? What letter is this? D. 3 D's in a row. And then we have what letter here on the bottom line? E, of course. Moving up to the space is an F. Moving up to the second line is G. Back down to middle C. D. Okay? So right here starting at the E. E, F, and then up 1 to D, 2 counts. C's 2 counts. So I'm going to start right here on this C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm counting to 4. Each measure has 4 counts. It will always add up to 4. All right, now what do I have here? What note is that? Say it. E. Okay, so 4 E's. Now, let's put them together. Take your highlighter out. Make your markings. Mark this thing up. It's great to do that because we're going to play so many pieces. Won't matter. Just do another printout if you mark it up too much and you need a clean sheet. Print it out again. Okay. Here we go. Starting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of you may get fast on these, and that's okay as long as you don't get too fast. You know, my kids, they learn theirs and just go to the races. Don't do that. Don't rush. You never want to rush. Even when you play fast, you want it to be a controlled fastness. Okay? Last line here. Let's take a look. Hand separately first. Left hand, because left hand is most difficult. So to read, it's most difficult to read. So let's do it first. Fourth. Remember a fourth from the last one? Fourth will be space line space. So here we have lines, space, and then a line here. But what 2 notes are there? D and G. You got to know it's D and G. It's a fourth, okay? So know your intervals, but also know the names of the notes individually. All right, what do we have here? Fifth. But it's C and G, so know it's C and G. Third, third, third. And here we have second, 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 fifth. But no, it's G and C. And then second, and then third to end. Okay? To the right hand, what note is this? What is it? F. Right? F on our fourth finger. F. Then we go down to an E. And of course these are C's. And what letter is this? D. Say it. Keep saying it. Don't stop saying the name of the note out loud. And we have first line here, which is an E, F, G, and then a skip down to C, and then D, E, C to end. Alright, so we start here. 1 on F, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You may go a lot slower than that. That's totally fine. You may have pauses between some of the notes while you figure out what they are. That's fine. No problem with that. Now let's hear the whole thing, shall we? Let me zoom it back down so that I can see the whole thing. Okay? So you might want to go through and make your markings, and remember you can do this if you'd like to help you. I won't do the whole piece, but you get the idea. Here we go. Beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. 1,